Hey, what's up everyone, and welcome to this video. In today's video, I will be looking at some of the new Starfall Circus heroes, and I will try to do a 10 pull at the Summons portal to see if I can get lucky and hopefully land one of the new 5-star heroes. So stick around. Hey guys, if you do not want to miss any of my Empires and Puzzles videos, please hit that subscribe button below and hit that bell to turn the notification on. I will be posting at least 2 videos per week, which will show you the results of my attacks in the Alliance Wars, and will also cover some of the major announcements made by Small Giant Games. Alright then, as you all know by now, the circus has arrived in town. That's right. The new Starfall Circus Event has finally arrived to the Empire, and there are a number of new 5-star heroes that appear interesting. I have started the challenge and must say that to date I enjoy it. The event has a new mechanic called the Starfall. After every 3 turns, the Starfall will cause 200 points of damage to your entire team, and will act like the chameleon attack by transforming your heroes from their strongest element to their weakest. So for example, your yellow heroes will become dark heroes and revert back to yellow after 3 turns. With respect to your other elements, they will cycle through from their current element to then their weakest element. So for example, green would go to blue, blue would go to red, and red would go back to green. Alright, so let's head over to the Summons portal and take a look at those new 5-star heroes. The first hero in the lineup is Director Zuri. She is a yellow hero with an average mana speed. Her stats are quite interesting in that her attack is at 766, her shield defense is at 772, and her health is at 1421. Director Zuri does act like a healer in that she recovers 45% health for the ally with the lowest remaining HP, and all other allies will recover 30% health. She also summons a clown minion for each ally with a 13% hit point and 20% attack inherited from the caster, and she also cleanses the status ailments from all allies. Now I have compared the Director Zuri to my Vivica and must say that I am very impressed with Director Zuri. Although my Vivica is only at 9 emblems, her attack is 744, her defense is at 750, and her health is at 1364. Now, while Zuri does not heal as much at only 30% compared to Vivica's 44%, Director Zuri is at average speed and therefore makes up by her lack of healing percentage by being able to cast her special more often. Next up is Faline, or Faline, I guess. This is another interesting hero. She is a yellow hero with a fast mana speed. Her attack is at 784, her defense at 751, and her health at 1394. She deals 290% damage to the target and nearby enemies, and will hit the enemy with the fastest base mana and cause a status ailment whereby the target will get a minus 44% mana generation for 3 turns. Unfortunately, I do not have a fully leveled yellow hero to compare her with. I do have a Mushashi who is only at his 3rd level, but already his special deals 332% damage, so a little higher than Faline. However, I believe that once fully leveled, his overall stats will be somewhat lower. So it is interesting that in the new group of heroes that are coming out, Empires is raising the defense stats and pretty much making these heroes with some base stats that make them usable in all kinds of situations. Right on to the next hero, Emilio. Now, Emilio is a very interesting red hero. Emilio is a very fast hero and has a very interesting game mechanic. So Emilio has an attack of 745, a defense of 803, and health of 1406. So his base stats make him quite tankish. He is of a very fast mana speed, so there aren't too many red heroes of very fast mana speed. So if the enemy already has a status ailment whereby they are receiving fire damage over time, Emilio is going to cause 410 points of damage over 5 turns, and all allies are going to regenerate 549 hit points over 3 turns. Now, if, however, the enemy do not have any burn damage, his special attack will cause 320 burn damage over 5 turns, and all allies will become immune to new status ailments for 3 turns. Now, what is interesting is because Emilio is a very fast acting hero, you can well imagine that by ghosting 3 tiles, once you have the right troop assigned to him with a few emblems, he will be able to be powered up and ready to go again. And on his second attack, will maintain that 410 burn damage over 5 turns and will heal your heroes. So very, very interesting hero. Certainly one that I would like to see in my roster. Certainly one that if you want to run a red tank, he would be the guy. Now, I do not have any comparable hero in the red element, but if I take a look at, for example, Elena, she's at a base stat of 824 attack, 614 defense, and 1387 in health, but I do have 8 emblems on her, so raising her stats a little bit. But she is way behind the base Emilio. We can also look at Enzog, who does some healing, and while he will cause 215% damage to all enemies, he in return only gives 20% of the total damage dealt in heals to the allies. In terms of speed, I do have a fully leveled Marjana, which has 8 emblems. Her mana speed is fast. Now, she does do 458% damage to the target and will cause the target to receive 318 burn damage over 6 turns. So as you can see, Emilio is quite an impressive 5-star hero, and as I said, certainly one that you would want to have in your roster. All right, so who do we have next? Theobald. Theobald is a hero of the blue element and is a hero with slow mana. Now, he has quite an interesting card, and again, I'm simply blown away by the defense stats that these new heroes have. He has an attack power of 735, but a defense of 803 and a health of 1404. Now, while he is slow, he is very tankish, and just look at what he does with his special. He deals 375% damage to the enemy with the highest remaining hit points, and deals 230% damage to all other enemies. And as a result, all allies will reflect all status effects and 115% damage back to the attacker, and block other negative effects from enemies' nature special skills for 4 turns. Now again, I don't have any comparable ice heroes, but if I look at, for example, Insomniak, my Insomniak, who is fully leveled with no emblems, has an attack of 797. So her base attack power is better than Theobald. However, her defense is 655 and her health is 1200. One of the criticisms of blue heroes over time is that while their attack is quite powerful, they are very squishy. Think of, for example, Magni. Hits hard, but he cannot take a hit in return. Theobald seems to break that trend. Now, while his attack is rather weak at 230% compared to Insomniak's 235%, his reflection or his counterattack and block does make up for the lack of damage. Likewise, his defensive skills would make him an ideal blue tank if you want to run a tank of that element. On to the next one. The next one we're going to look at is Bobo, another hero of the blue element, and he is another slow hero. Now, Bobo also has interesting stats. As you can see, Bobo is a fairly well-balanced hero. His attack is at 751, a little bit on the low side, but his defense is at 801, and his health is at 1380. Now, out of all of the new 5-star heroes, he is probably the weakest in terms of overall stats. However, he does have some interesting mechanics in his special attack. He deals 320% damage to all enemies. Now, the enemy with the highest base defense will suffer a minus 60% defense for 4 turns, and this is one of the highest negative defense ailments I have seen in this game. It is also interesting that this negative defense status ailment cannot be cleansed. This would be great to have on your Titan team, for example. The other part of his attack is that the enemy with the highest base attack will get a minus 60% attack for 4 turns, and also that effect cannot be cleansed. So Bobo deals out damage and causes a double whammy to the opponents. And again, against a Titan, this would be great. You manage to reduce his defense by 60%. So imagine having a Frida along with a Bobo. You decrease the elemental defense and you decrease the overall defense by another 60%. And you also prevent the Titan from hitting you as hard. So Bobo, although weak on his stats, does have some interesting game mechanics. So just for fun, let's see what a fully leveled and fully emblemed Vela would compare. And I see that my Vela has an attack of 825, a defense of 822, and a health of 1450. it would not be out of the realm of possibility with emblems to bring Bobo's stats close to those of my Vela, and where he does 320% damage to all enemies, Vela does 130% damage. Now, Vela is a fast-acting hero, so she makes up for the low percentage by being able to attack more often. Compared to, again, Isarnia, Isarnia does a 235% damage to all enemies, so Bobo would cause, obviously, more damage to all enemies, and where Isarnia's real talent is reducing all enemies' defense by 44%, Bobo only targets a single hero. But again, maybe someone nice to have on your Titan team. You probably want to boost his base attack, so you would have better tile damage coming from his contribution. All right, on to the next hero. Candy, Dondre, Eiora, and Fluffy. That's cute. Oh. Eiora reminds me of Zoc. Those pointy ears, that little grin, that wavy hair. Maybe she's Zoc's sister. Anyhow. Eiora and Fluffy are a team of heroes from the nature or green element. Their mana speed is average, and their stats are kind of on the low side, but for an average mana speed hero, they are probably on the higher end. The attack power is 786 with a defense of 751 and health of 1400. Eiora and Fluffy are a minion destroyer. So they first destroy all minions from the target, and second, deal 550% damage to the target. They reduce the max health from all enemies that own minions by 304, and the max health can't get lower than 30% of the original max health. So somewhat of a mechanic similar to Alfreak, for example. In terms of minion destroyers, the really only comparable hero I would have is a Grimble. Now my Grimble is at level 58 of the 4th tier, so he's got 22 levels left to be fully leveled. But his base stat at this point is 589 attack with a 788 defense and a 1364 health. So my Grimble is a little more tankish than Eiora, although his attack, by the time I'm done leveling him, is probably going to be lower than Eora's. Grimble, he destroys all minions from all enemies, whereas Eiora only does it for the target, and he deals 235% damage to all enemies, where she causes 550% damage to the target. So Eora's mechanics are very interesting, especially against teams that have minions, and it's that Alfreak effect of reducing the max health that makes this hero somewhat desirable. I would not mind having this hero, especially where my green roster is a little weak. Who else can we compare her with? What about Uraeus? Now my fully leveled Uraeus with 18 emblems has an attack power of 853. His defense is 781 and his health is 1471. So pound for pound, Eiora could probably match those stats, And of course, Urias, he does not destroy the minion. He bypasses the minion, but causes 485% damage to the target. So again, Eiora's 550% damage is quite impressive. If we even take a look at Noor, for example, Noor was the Red Hero of the Month, came out 8-9 months ago, or maybe more now, I can't remember. At best, she summons minions for her allies, and before the Sparrow minion hits the target, it destroys all minions from the target. But that's all Noor does. So Noor falls way behind in terms of what her special does compared to Eiora and Fluffy. All right, so let's see if there is anyone else. 4 stars, and then we fall in the, oh, Trainer Hero. How nice. So the portal makes sure you can get some Trainer Heroes. I guess that is it. I do not see anything else. I do not see any other heroes. So if I'm not mistaken, that makes 6 new 5-star heroes that are available. I have not seen any of those heroes that I would not want. There are some seasonal events where there are heroes that you're happy to get them, but they become, bench warmers because you never finish leveling them. There are other events that have recently occurred. I think I picked up a Karnov, so he's a dark hero from the villains family. Really not a hero that I'm going to level at any time soon. I don't like the game mechanics he offers. He's a slow hero. He alters shields on the board. Is not something that I have room for in my dark roster at the moment. Maybe eventually when I'm done leveling my current Maligna or my who else am I leveling right now? Dr. Morrow. Maybe after I'm done, I may consider, although I have a Noblecon I want to level up. So, he's a hero that really I have no interest in at this point. All right, guys. So I guess I am going to try and do a 10 pull here. So let's keep our fingers crossed and see what is going to happen. I would like to complete this transaction, and here we go. Gunnar. All right, that's fodder. Oh, great. Okay, that's nice. Candy. All right. And here we go. Beleith. Hawkmoon. Here comes the garbage. Caedmon, Nashguard. Trash. All fodder. Renfeld. Come on. Gunnar. Oh, so we start with a Gunnar and we end with a Gunnar. So all we were able to get is Eichelborg. Eichelborg. Pompous Flex. Deals 305%. Of course, he's level 1 right now. Minus 30 defense for 4 turns. Maybe someone. He's a fast-acting red 4-star hero. So unfortunately that was it. Candy here. Healer, yellow healer, 3 stars. Well, the rest is pretty much all food for my heroes I will be leveling. Well, unfortunately, we did a 10 pull and we were not very successful. I have 1,487 gems left. I might buy gems from the challenge offers. Maybe not. Right now, that would not provide me with enough gems. I might. I'm not sure. But if I do, Maybe I will run another video showing you my portal summons and hopefully get one of the new 5 stars. In terms of who I'd like to get, boys, oh boys, you know, I'm at a loss here. I think Emilio certainly ranks as number 1. Theobald probably would be number 2 of who I'd like to get. So Emilio, Theobald. In terms of yellow heroes, I got so many yellow heroes right now, again, that I'm in the process of leveling. Director Zuri. I think Director Zuri would be number 3. Eiora. It's a tough call. I think maybe Iora and Fluffy, because I am in need of good green heroes. So let's do this again. Number 1 is going to be Emilio. Definitely, that's the guy I'd like to draw. Number 2, Theobald. Number 3, Iora and Fluffy. 4 and 5 would be one of the yellow heroes. Bobo, Bobo would be number 6. I don't know why. Bobo, I think, is a good hero, but I'd rank him number 6. That's the order in which I personally would like to if I had the choice of picking them. If you told me today you can pick 1, I'd certainly go with Emilio. If you gave me the option of picking 2, I'd go Emilio and Theobald. So that's my ranking of how I'd pick them. But they are all great heroes. They all have impressive base stats. Just imagine with troops and emblems, these can become really, really game changers in your lineups. And boys, you know, for once we have some new tanks in Emilio and Theobald. So that's exciting. I mean, you know, since Telluria, we've been waiting and waiting. But finally, Empires has stepped up and has offered us a brochette of new heroes, all of which, really, I would insert in my lineup. So kudos, you know, that's great. As I said, there's been some events in the past, like the Easter event, where, yeah, you got 1 or 2 great heroes, but the rest are, you know, and they all have these negative effects of, you know, killing the defense. So yeah, they're going to hit hard, but then, you know, you're at the mercy of the AOE attacks. Anyhow, guys, that is going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked it. If you did, please leave me a comment in the section below. You'd like me to do these portal summons again. Certainly, I'd like to share those with you. And don't forget, guys, please subscribe. Please hit the notification bell. Please hit the thumbs up. Give us a like. It's always encouraging for creators. And we'll see you next time. All right, guys, take care. All my friends are heathens, take it slow.